Doesn't.
But isn't
there's
calling
no
in a
bearing.
false police report a
It's not calling
misdemeanor?
in a false police report.
It is reporting something that didn't happen that's false.
Did you come here to argue with me, or did you come here to ask questions? Because you're being very accusatory and it's starting to irritate me.
The cop in this video is rude, aggressive, condescending, and a disgrace to humanity, folks. Surely we know that because of officer discretion, police can pretty much do whatever they want, or even don't do anything at all. They propagate for you to see something, say something, but if you say you want to make a complaint on an officer, they make you go through an obstacle course to do that. They'll also make you out to be a bad person, as you'll see here. What I like about this video is that there are two folks talking to this cop, and they both let the cop know he's acting like a fool. But does that stop the officer from continuing to act like a fool? Watch the video to find out, folks. Go subscribe to this channel, Audit the Law. I'll drop the link in the description and in the pinned comment. Let's get right to it, folks.
Person that we stop out with, a suspicious person, there is a separate report number generated for that, but that does not mean that an officer takes a report on that. So they can clear them as activity completed, report taken, citation issued. There's all kinds of different things, and I don't want to get into the
What our
weeds on that.
concern is not only was that if she called it in as an assault, that's a false police report, and
And it's a misdemeanor.
let me finish.
Okay.
So if she ever did have an encounter with the Nap Police Department, it's going to come up as she's violent because she has an assault on sitting there, and that's what we're concerned
I
about.
think you guys are speculating more so than what actually truly does happen.
Okay.
So, no, you were not labeled as a suspect or a defendant in an assault. Basically, my understanding of it is the officer spoke to you and you were trespassed from the place of business.
Correct.
Which
Correct.
is the only thing
that's
that
their-
happened.
But my concern is that she called it an assault.
They can call it whatever they want. They can call it a kidnapping. It doesn't.
But isn't
there's
calling
no
in a
bearing.
false police report a
It's not calling
misdemeanor?
it a false police report.
It is reporting something that didn't happen that's false.
Did you come here to argue with me, or did you come here to ask questions? Because you're being very accusatory and it's starting to irritate me.
I have a question.
And I'm
Yes.
trying to answer your questions, but the way you keep accusing and attacking is
Let
getting
me, let me,
irritating.
let, let me explain
Hold on.
something. She has that anxiety order, so it naturally comes out sounding like she's being accusatory, but it's not. That's her.
I have a
Her heart rate.
disability.
Her heart rate elevates when this happens.
It's called
Just-
fight or flight. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. When
Everybody
you're-
has fight or
yes,
flight.
when you're attacked, sometimes you get fight or flight. And when I get attacked, especially by somebody standing with a gun and in their arms like this, makes me feel scared and like you're trying to threaten me by telling me that you're not going to handle my situation just like they did at the restaurant.
Why do police officers seem to have a bad attitude? Why do they act aggressively towards the people? They always act like they're in a hurry and they don't have no time. But after they take someone to jail, they always stand around for a long time, chit-chatting, high-fiving each other, all that nonsense. You guys are absolutely gonna love what this woman does right here. She puts this cop in check for the way he's behaving and the way he's talking to her. Check out his arms. She points out how he's standing there aggressively and she makes him change his stance. Check this out, folks.
When you're attacked, sometimes you get fight or flight, and when I get attacked, especially by somebody standing with a gun and in their arms like this, makes me feel scared and like you're trying to threaten me by telling me that you're not going to handle my situation just like they did at the restaurant. If people don't like to handle situations, your opinion is say, hey, don't be like that. I have an opinion. I was overcharged at a restaurant. I brought it up to her opinion, and she freaked out.
And she flipped out about
She
it.
flipped out.
Okay. So what I
And
would
I
tell you is
said, I said, let me finish 1 second. I said, ma'am, I'll just have to call my credit card company then. And she said, fine, just pay your bill. I'm calling the police. So I said, well, I'm not signing it. And I went like that with my pen across the receipt and walked out.
And
That's an assault. She filed an assault.
Followed us out the door, being very hostile.
Yes, and I said, ma'am, leave me alone. I paid my bill and I'm leaving. I did exactly as you asked me to do. Why are you writing down my license plate number? And got in my vehicle
And we
left.
drove off.
And an hour later, they show up at my house and accuse me of assault.
That's why we're concerned about what it says on that report.
And then you
Renee?
have it in your mind that I'm an aggressive person because I have an anxiety disorder. And because I get nervous and scared and start to get shaky because I have somebody in authority that starts yelling at me. I came here to get help. And this is how you help people when they come in here? I asked, please, I need this redacted. I did not commit an assault to this lady. If having an opinion is wrong, everyone in this whole planet would have an assault on them. Just because my mouth, I say, excuse me, I don't feel this is correct, don't tell me that I'm assaulting you. She called in a misdemeanor offense by calling in a false police report. Nothing happened, I wasn't on her property, and I left the facility. If the police dispatcher would have said, ma'am, is the lady on your property? No, ma'am, she left. Well, guess there's no problem there, is there? There's no assault happening, is there? When they showed up, did they have any witnesses to an assault? But they wasted the taxpayer dollar to come to my house to question, even though it didn't happen. There's cameras in the facility that you could watch the video. Nothing happened. But you wasted the taxpayer, my taxpayer dollars, to come to my house to accuse me of assaulting a lady over a $1.25 egg, which it doesn't even happen to even say anything about my side on here, other than the fact that I was unsatisfied with my service, and I'm calling the Better Business Bureau. Where's my side of the story? You only took hers, and so now on my report it says assault. I want it fixed.
Are you done?
Are you gonna fix it?
No, I'm not.
And why not?
Ma'am, I already explained to you.
Explain it again, because I have a disability and I don't understand the first time.
Okay, because they called that in as an assault. That's why it was labeled as an assault.
Okay, and did it turn out to be an assault?
No, but
It
it
was a
does not
false
change
report.
in the system,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay.
It does not change in the system.
Okay.
So
There's
just
no way to
because the
change it.
officer clears it as a trespassing or a this, it could have been a misunderstanding between her and dispatch. There is a plethora of reasons why it gets labeled a certain way. They don't go through the same law classes we go through. So just because they interpret it as
all right.
an assault
Okay,
does
so
not
I just want to
necessarily.
understand then the law is that you can call in anything, even if it's false. If
You're,
it does turn
you're,
out-
you're mixing.
No, I'm
you're
just-
mixing and matching what
no,
you
I'm
want to
trying to
fit your
understand.
narrative. Okay,
Please explain to me, because I'm trying to understand.
I
What
have
should-
explained it to you twice
Okay,
now.
if you call in a false police report for
It's
assault,
not a false police report,
so I
ma'am.
can call it an assault. And if
But
it
wait,
turns
wait,
out
wait,
to
wait,
not
wait.
be true,
Renee.
it's okay.
Who labeled it an assault?
That would likely be labeled by the dispatchers as to what the call, what type of call they want to put it in as. Based on whatever information they gather or obtain from the person that calls it in.
So the person that called, when she said that she had a customer dispute, she labeled it as an assault because there was physical evidence that she needed
Why
to.
wouldn't it be labeled
but
as trespassing?
Yeah,
Since you
why
came
would
out
it
with
not
a
be labeled
trespass
as
order, why would it be
trespass?
labeled as trespassing?
I don't know why. it was
And
not
don't tell me
labeled
it
as
can
that.
be redacted, because I know it can. Computers can be changed. Fill out a form. It can be redacted.
And you can fill out a formal request if you want. I
I
don't even know
did.
that it's such a thing.
I did.
Okay?
I filled one out
But
here.
the point is, this is not even a report. It did not go to the prosecutor. It did not go anywhere. This is
It's
simply
in your
our system.
It's in your system, and I don't want it there.
Do
I
you
want
need
it
anything else from
redacted.
us?
So if you type
Yes.
in Renee Buscemi, that's going to come up.
No, it
Yes, it
doesn't.
will. That's a lie. Because you just pulled it up today. She pulled it up yesterday.
You're not listed as a suspect. You're not listed as a
It
defendant.
comes
You're not
up
listed as
exactly
an
as this
anything.
report.
We're not changing the way we do our work because you're unhappy. Okay?
Because it's a lie?
Is
She
there
called-
anything else I can
Yes,
do for you today?
I would like to report a misdemeanor of a false police report.
It's
On
not a
copy-
false police report, ma'am.
Yes.
No,
I
you
ha-
were at their business. They trespassed you from their business.
No, she
They're a
called-
private
she
company
said I
and they have a
assaulted
right
her.
to do that.
I think you need to investigate the assault.
They did investigate it.
And it was found to not be true?
That doesn't
Was
make
there-
it a
was
false
there an
police
ass-
report.
Okay. You found no assault happened.
Ma'am, you are
Did
mixing
you?
up.
No, did you
You're
find
not
an
here to
assault?
interrogate me.
Did
And
you
if
find an assault
Ma'am,
happened that
I'm
day?
done with you. Okay? You've done overstayed your welcome
Let
here.
me have your
I
badge,
have
your name and badge number.
Officer Duke.
Officer
DUKE, badge number 621.
621.
Yep.
In other words, if the cops like you, they'll help you. But if they don't, they won't. It's called officer discretion. It's called qualified immunity. It's called internal investigations. It's called police unions. It's called police not having to pay for their own insurance, so that when there are lawsuits, it doesn't come from the constituents. They do what they want, folks. They have forgotten that they work for you, the people. It's time to remind them. It's time to make some records requests. It's time to pull out your phones and record and ask questions. It's time to record them at traffic stops. It's time to go into these public installations and make sure that they're not having any misappropriation of funds. We need to ask where our tax dollars are going. We need to demand transparency, and we need to keep helping your channels grow. So if you don't have a channel yet and you'd like to start one, go out and record some police or some government officials. Ask them some questions. Send your videos to recordpolicenow@gmail.com. We'll take a look at them. With that being said, thank you all for tuning in. Go subscribe to this newer channel. Let them know I sent you. We'll see you guys over there. Have a blessed day.